Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Almost 4 minutes in and the camera shut itself off again. You know, GoPro, for as much of a market share as you guys have, you guys really need to kind of get your crap together because these cameras are just wonky. Anyway, I'm going to get the Go board up and sealed so that that can be drying. Ordinarily with that, you can actually use the adhesive that comes with it, use anchor screws, and set tile on it almost immediately. But I don't need to do that here, so I'm going to get that up and let that start drying. We'll let that dry at least overnight, and then I'll get to the process of setting tile after that. We've got just a standard, let's see here, down under here somewhere. We have this will be the accent tile. It's a glass tile, so we'll do an accent stripe out of that. We have the running bond subway tile, and then we have kind of a cobalt blue square mat that's going to go on the countertops, basically on all these flat surfaces. So up here to create an accent, and then which reminds me I have to go get some edge bead because I like to put a metal bead on those ends to finish them out, so we're not dealing with 1980s bullnose, especially when you're transitioning between colors. But anyway, so do that. The accent stripe will basically be at this elevation. It will go to here. It will skip this. It will start back here, go clear around in this way, and then our shower valve will be centered on that space, which I obviously have to cut that in. But it'll be centered up on that space. And then, and of course, because we do have a bathtub, so it will be a traditional shower tub valve combination. So anyway, that's that. On this side of the room, I still need to add a wall leader in, and then we'll probably do a gentle arch up here. Probably be better if I go this way and you guys can actually see what I'm talking about, maybe. We're not putting a door in this bathroom. The way that this bulkhead here sits and the way that our bed is situated and all that, you can still have pretty much regular privacy without having to have a door. And a door is just one more thing to have to maneuver around because, you know, it has a swing. So it either swings out or it swings in, and you have to maneuver around it when you're getting into that small space. Space is much bigger than it used to be, but it's still, you know, not huge. So I've got to do a wall leader out here and then do that arch over the top to finish that out. Of course, I've got fascia and ceiling panels that have to be put in, lots of cleating to support all that. You know, this area here will continue that panel, you know, straight across. So I have a bit of a void space up there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And of course, all that gets insulated in that space. So, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. I mean, it's kind of a lot of gobbledygook, but I'll sort of update you as I go along. I will go ahead and film installing this Go board, but it's really pretty straightforward stuff. They come in 3x5 sheets. You cut it with a razor knife. The edges where they seam together and where it meets up with another mating surface like this ledge, we'll put down a bead of a polyurethane based glue, and I'll show you what I'm going to use. Johns Manville is the company that manufactures that product, and figure out what I do with my junk. And they give you a list of suitable sealants. I ended up going with a liquid nails product, which ordinarily I don't deal with them per se. I usually use like if I'm doing construction adhesive, I'll usually use like PL 400 or PL Premium. But in this case, this is not really as much of an adhesive as it is a sealant in this application. But I'm using this Fuse It. And it has to, the reason I'm using that obviously is, again, Johns Manville, you know, says what's acceptable for use with their product, and the chemistry is compatible with the foam. So we'll create a nice rubbery type of a sealant. to waterproof the seams. The board itself is completely waterproof. Again, it's a polyurethane foam with fiberglass on both sides. It's really, it's brilliant stuff. I mean, I use it. I've used hundreds of sheets of this stuff. It's hard as a rock, but it's still got a little bit of flex to it, and it's easy to handle and work with. So if you're doing tile on a boat and you need a substrate, I highly recommend using that. Anyway, that's kind of it for now. I'm going to get some progress done. I'm kind of getting reoriented to what I'm working on here in the boat because, frankly, I've been off the boat for a while. I came down, I don't know, several days ago and put the red guard on. I got to pull all this masking off and get ready for the next step. But yeah, the Marine Corps project, I mean, it turned out beautifully, I think. They were incredibly pleased with it. But I had just an endless amount of problems. I've got an industrial CNC, and that machine had a power surge that hit it during Hurricane Debbie, and I've been fighting with it ever since. I keep having to replace electrical components. So it gave me fits for the whole project. You know, it was making bad cuts and jumping off center and everything else. So I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on with that. And then my supplier, my hardwood supplier that I get all of my sheet goods and my hardwood from, had a moment in all the years, decades that I've been using them. I've never had any issues getting materials from them. And then all of a sudden I order some mahogany and it takes me 3 weeks to get it. So that was quite a mess. But anyway, all bitching aside, that's done, and the pieces are delivered and everybody's happy. So when you're dealing with, you know, straight angles, it's really a game of connect the dots, as you can probably see. You know, we just take 2 plot coordinate measurements, you know, this axis, and then connect the dots. And, you know, you can get a fairly accurate representation. Now this, if this was a finished piece, like in a cabinet or something like that, you'd probably want to be a little bit more precise, probably do a pattern, which is, you know, as you guys have seen, what I've done through all of this is patterning. And even that just gets you in the ballpark. You have to leave a little extra to trim back. But so, I mean, I'm going to cut this out and we'll see how it fits. But I mean, it's really just that simple. I see so many of these channels, so many DIY forums in general for homes or for boats or for whatever. And my God, people can overcomplicate stuff. Just, you know, like they say in the military, we just use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Or the, you know, the old edict about Occam's razor, you know. The simplest solution is almost always the right one. So don't overthink it. Just get it done. And see, just like I said, I mean, it gets you in the ballpark. It's never perfect. You know, got some gapping there, got a little bit of gapping there. Definitely got a little gap going up there, but I've got some irregular stuff going on up top that I wanted to go back and fill that in. Just like our top of our boards are going to finish there. It's going to leave a gap up there. But there is, I've got, oh, Jesus, tabbing. I've got tabbing in those spaces and it's curved. And what I don't want is the top of these boards to flare out. So on these surfaces here, because I've got tabbing, I wanted to hold back from that, and I'll just go back in and fill that in. either with a piece or some filler or both. Again, it's not critical, just trying to create a substrate that steps out, so once I put the tile in here with the mastic, I'll have just the tiniest little lip, which will encourage that water to come off of there pretty quick. So again, it's not rocket science, and it's certainly not, you know, you don't have to be perfect. It's you just got to get it in there, create the substructure so that you can tile over it. The tile obviously has to be cut pretty accurately. That's a whole different video. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to have to adjust on the fly, because it's part of doing this work. Sorry, I just realized that sun was blinding all of us. Anyway, you just have to be, you know, willing to make adjustments and kind of move and stick.
I'm gonna take all these out. This is, I'm in the closet area. Redo this whole insulated and put up new. New wall coverings. It's a lot of screws. Ouch. This farm stuff he hates because it hides all of any moisture that gets behind it. And then you can't really see if the wood is rotted or not, or if there's any leaks. It hides all that too. I'm sure it looked pretty when they did it, but okay. I bang my head one more time. I can tell Sean I didn't notice this stuff as much, but now because of him, I'm noticing more and more crappy work that people do. Well, people try, I guess. There we go. This is the port we missed taking out. Wait, look at that. And all the freaking rot. I'm telling you what. Well, that was pretty easy to get out, but people, you gotta pay attention to leaks and stuff. When you got a little leak, you gotta take care of it. I'll show you. This melamine was pretty darn rotted. That's a piece of it. The rest of it I got out and down the hole. This stuff is just trashed. This is the melamine. That's the stuff that's the devil. The water gets behind it. That's the closet. One closet down, other than vacuuming it, and then he'll rebuild it. And I'll start working on the other closet. This closet backs up to the cockpit and then the galley. And ouch. This is oh, it's so dusty.
Frickin' Allen key for this just fell down in the bilge.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I'll have to climb down there and get that. What we have here is the shower that was constantly leaking. It's rotted out this floor in the closet.
Well, I ain't just rotted. That's termites.
Termite ate it up and rot.
Yep, look at it.
Yeah, I need to get that light.
Yeah, this is a stringer.
Let me see.
1.5 inches thick of just nothing.
Completely gone.
Yep.
I wonder why we're working on a complete boat remodel. Can't let this stuff go.
Nope. Certainly can't.
I'll come in on this side, it's a lot more room.
Well, it's easier to work straightforward than. Yeah, that's fucking
Termites.
termites.
I mean, you think they would have heard the darn termites as much as it was eating.
Yeah.
Look at that.
See?
Yep. Termites are having a feast. Floor's completely gone. Anyway.
Yeah, that right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Blackwater tank.
Mm.